Hello everyone! In this video I'm going to be showing you how to do another Python programming practice. Alright, so you can see that over here I have all of the instructions for the assignment written down, so I'm going to go ahead and read those and then we can see what it is that we need to do for this program. Alright, so the instructions say to create a program that will calculate a person's body mass index value. The BMI is calculated by the following equation using pounds and inches for units. BMI equals weight times 703 divided by the height squared. Then it says if the BMI is below 18.5, a person is said to be underweight, and if a person has a BMI over 25, they are said to be overweight. So you will ask the user to provide their weight in pounds and their height in inches, then report their BMI value, and tell them if they are underweight, overweight, or optimal. Then, if the values provided by the user indicate that the person is in the overweight category, then calculate and provide the amount of weight that is needed to lose to get down into the optimal category. Alright, now these instructions are going to be really important for us to write our code and tell us what it is that we need to do. So the first thing that I want to do is write a print statement just telling the user what this program is going to do. So I'm going to say print, and this program will calculate your BMI and place you into a BMI category. Alright, now once we did that, we want to start getting the values from the users. So I'm going to say height equals, and then I'm going to say float because the user, can enter a float as their height. So I'm going to say input, then I'm going to say please enter your height, and we want to say in inches just so we know that we're in the same scale here. Alright, now once we get the height, we want to get the weight from the user. So I'm going to go ahead and say weight equals, again, a float, input, and then please enter your weight in pounds. Again, making sure that we are in the same unit of measure here. Alright, now that we got all that information, the weight and the height, we can go ahead and calculate the BMI. So we're going to do that using this formula that they give us up here. So I'm going to go ahead and say BMI equals weight times 703. Then we're going to divide that by the height squared. Alright, now that we have done that, we can go ahead and tell them what their BMI is. So I'm going to go ahead and say print your BMI is. Then I'm going to use an F string here just so it's formatted nice and neatly. We can easily format the BMI to one decimal place, so we're going to go 0.1 floating point, and then end that. So this is going to output their BMI, and it's going to display it to one decimal point. And this is the same equation as it is up here. I just added more parentheses and moved this out here just so that I could put the height squared in parentheses and just divide the whole thing by that. Alright, so then I'm going to go ahead and say, we're going to do an if-else statement here actually. So we want to compare the BMI to the values that it told us would put the person into each category. So here's where we're going to determine which category the person is in. So I'm going to say if BMI is less than 18.5, then what we want to print is you are underweight. Now what we want to do is an elif statement, and this one's going to be a range because it's telling them if their weight is optimal. So it never really told us up here what the optimal weight would be, but we know that less than 18.5 is underweight and above 25 is overweight, so between there is going to be the optimal category. So we're going to say elif BMI is greater than or equal to 18.5 and BMI is less than or equal to 25. Then what we want to do is print your weight is optimal, because that's between the two category ranges that it gave us up here. Right now, we want to do another elif, So we're going to say if BMI is greater than 25, then what we want to do is, one, we want to print that they're overweight, but then we also want to do the calculation of how much weight they're going to need to lose in order to get into the optimal category. So first thing we're going to do is print you are overweight. All right, now that we've done that, we can go ahead and calculate how much weight it is that we need to lose. So we kind of need to figure out like a reverse way to turn the BMI that they are over into pounds to tell them how much weight they need to lose to get into that optimal BMI category. So I'm going to go ahead and say BMI to lose equals a float, and then it's going to be BMI minus 25. Now that's going to tell us the BMI points that they are over the optimal value. All right, now once we do that, we are going to use that to find the weight that they are over. So I'm going to say weight over equals, and we're going to say BMI to lose divided by 703, and then times the height squared here. So basically what we're doing is we're reversing what we did to calculate the BMI to turn the BMI into pounds. All right, so now that we do that, that's going to be the weight over that they are. So then the weight over is going to be the weight that they need to lose to get into that optimal category. So then I'm going to go ahead and say weight to lose equals, and then I'm just going to format it with an F string and say F weight over, and we want it rounded to 1 decimal place. So 0.1 floating point number, we'll round it to 1 decimal place. All right, now that's all of our calculations. So we calculate how much over BMI it is, turn that into weight, and then find the weight to lose, nice and formatted. All right, so then what we want to do is we want to print to be in the optimal category, comma, you need to lose, and we want to put the weight to lose pounds. All right, now that should be everything that we need for this program. We told the user, oops, missing that, there we go. So we got the input from the user, we told them what their BMI is, and then we calculated which BMI category they're in, and then once we did that, if they were overweight, we told them how much weight it is they need to lose. So I want to go ahead and run this program and show you guys how it works and make sure everything works how it should. All right, so we can see that we have this nice little introduction for the user. We asked them to enter their height in inches, so I'm going to go ahead and say that the height is 60 inches. And then the weight is going to be 140 pounds. So the BMI is 27.3. You are overweight. To be in the optimal category, you need to lose 12 pounds. Perfect. All right, so that worked good. Now we're going to do one more run. So I'm going to go run. And then I'm going to say that the height is 70 inches. And then we'll say that the weight is 125 pounds. And they're underweight. Now I want to do one where I get it in the optimal range, just to show you what that would do. So one more run. Kind of guessing here, I'm going to go with 70 again, but I'm going to go with 135 pounds. All right, your BMI is 19.4. Your weight is optimal. All right, so that's everything that we need for this program. Everything runs good. The output looks how we want it to. Input requests look how we want to, and we're nice and informative for the user. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm going to have more Python practice videos coming out soon so that you can learn Python on your own.